Hey, and welcome back. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that it's pretty awesome that you stuck with the challenge thus far. So it's pretty impressive that you're taking this time to give back to yourself through your yoga practice. It's going to pay off. I've found that it's been such a life-changing experience for me. Through the practice of yoga, it's helped to bring so many positive things in my life, and it's helped to increase my awareness in order to make better decisions in life. So not only are you getting some more awareness of your body, but in yoga philosophy we say that the body is kind of like a microcosm, and the better we become in tune with the body, that we're more in tune with what's going around us in the physical world. Right, Ollie? Yeah. All right, so yesterday's class, we focused on trying to move the femur independent of the rest of the spine. So like when we were balancing, we were seeing if we engage the muscles of the hip so we could still maintain neutral, etc. Today we're going to twist and see if we can keep a still femur while we rotate a pelvis. So to feel this, you're going to lie down onto your back. A lot of back lying down for these first 3 days. And we're going to see with the feet, the width of the mat or even a little bit wider, how much rotation we can get before the pelvis moves. So I want you to internally rotate your right leg and move it into the midline at the same time. And then abduct as you externally rotate. And just feel how much movement you get independent of lumbar movement. And then change sides. See how much the left leg can move. And then here's me moving my lumbar too and moving it more. And then how much external rotation, abduction I can get. And then here's me moving the rest of my spine and pelvis, and then I can get much more. So it's just important to see how much we can get from the hip socket. We want the hip socket to stay mobile because that's a healthy hip. That's a hip that will stay healthy and strong through years. If we're just jamming ourselves, then we're not really getting true movement of the hip, and that's when hips start to go bad. All right, so we're gonna do a little mobility exercise. We're gonna couple both. It's not wrong to add the hip and the lower back, but we wanna be able to do both. So take your arms into cactus, let your left leg internally rotate your left arm as your right arm externally rotates, look to your left. And then change positions. Right leg internally rotates right arm, look to your right. Change sides. Change sides. Come to center. Then bring your legs into a tabletop position. And squeeze in the legs like you're squeezing something in between them. Now on an exhalation, roll your ears, paper towel, roll your ears, roll your spine, roll up to your knees and hold there. Each time you exhale, move your rib cage down to your pelvis. And when you inhale, can you breathe into the full 360 degrees of your rib cage? Then hug your knees into your chest. And if it feels comfortable to on your spine, you're on a thick enough mat, you can roll up to seated. And then see if you can roll back onto your shoulders. And roll up. And roll back. And roll up. Then stretch back into child's pose. In child's pose, take this opportunity to connect to your breath. Slow breathing in and out through your nose. Then lift your gaze, walk your hands over to the right, and as your left hip sits back and down, stretch through your left side body. Change sides, walk your hands over to the other side. And as your right hip sits back and down, breathe into your right side body, right where it feels tight, near the outer armpit, side ribs. Come back to center, stretch into downward dog. And then spin your heels all the way over to the right. Stretch through your left side. Spin your heels up and all the way to the left. Spin your heels up. Step to the top of your mat. Take your feet outer hips distance apart. Lower your butt like you're sitting into a chair. Hold there. Take your arms forward. Feel your core engaged. Turn your thumbs up. And then without your ribs falling towards your thighs, lift your hands up. Bring your arms forward. Press the palms and lift up. Stand, Samastiti. Sit back into the little chair with the arms forward. Thumbs up. Lift the arm up without the ribs pushing down. Stand, hands to prayer. Sit back. Lift up. Feel your strong shoulders lift the thumbs higher and higher. Stand. Hands to prayer. Last one. Lift up, lift the thumbs. Stand. Hands to prayer. Now shift the weight over into your right foot. Step your left leg back and lower the knee an inch above the mat. Bring your arm across the midline. So feel your pelvis steady as your rib cage turns. This leg doesn't move. The knee stays on a track with the ankle and the hip. Stand. Mountain pose. Step your right leg back and lower the knee an inch above the mat. Now can you rotate from your rib cage, twist, stretch the back of the shoulder, and then stand. Step your left foot back, rotate, stand. Step your right foot, rotate, stand. Change sides. Now try not to let your rib cage twist. Now just take the arm across the midline. Stand. Change sides. Don't let your rib cage twist. Take the arm across. And stand. Step the left foot back. Lower the knee an inch above the mat. Arms forward. Drop the knee down. Now without your right leg moving, it's on a track. Keep the hip in alignment, turn the navel, turn the rib cage, take the right arm back. Very good. Everything wants to twist around, so you're practicing your stability and you're turning on the spine muscles at the same time. Come up, raise your arms up, and then step forward. Change sides, step the right foot back, lower the knee an inch above the mat. Strong hip, strong glute, part of your core. Set the knee down. Take the arms forward. Without the left leg moving or the hips moving, turn the navel, take the arm back. Allow for the time to make the eyebrows of the camera that did on the other side. And then come back to center. Arms up, stand. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back, downward facing dog. Lower onto your belly, legs straight or knees down, your call, whatever you have the strength for. Inhale into cobra pose. Exhale into downward dog. Step your right foot up to your right thumb. Lower your back knee. Inhale your left arm up. Deepen your psoas line, your hip, as you hook your left elbow. So notice this didn't change. My knee didn't cave in. I didn't fall to the foot, into the side of the foot. Keep the heel pressed, and I turn to the leg instead of the leg turning to me. Palms together. Now keep your right hip in and under, lift the back knee. All review from week 1. Hands down, step back. Change sides, step the left foot forward. Lower the knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Turn to the knee, don't let the knee cave in. Stay steady on the foot. Now left hip stays in alignment with the heel and under you. Press the heel down as you lift the back thigh. Hands down, step back to down dog. Look forward. Step your right foot, crescent lunge. Inhale, reach up. Now keeping good alignment with your leg, ankle, knee, hip lined up, hook your left elbow. Don't let the knee cave in. Turn to the knee. Now lengthen, reach your crown forward, reach your pelvic roots, your tailbone, sit bones, pubic bone back. Palms together. Hands down, step to down dog. Change sides, step your left foot. Ground your heel, inhale, come up. Look down at that leg. Keep it in alignment as you twist to the leg. Hands down, step back, downward dog. Look forward, hopper step to the front. Inhale, flat back. Now see if you can straighten your legs without pushing your knees back, without locking the knee. So we want to keep the ankle, the knee lined up over the ankle, and then pull the hips up and over to straighten the legs, as opposed to sinking back like that. Just notice what it's like to feel the forward fold with the joints lined up. Now, the most advanced practitioners can, if the legs are totally straight, you're lined up over the ankle, you can lift the skin of the kneecap as long as it doesn't tense up your lower back or your neck. But notice, again, I'm not pushing the knee back, I'm just drawing the skin of the kneecap up and the kneecap itself. Roll yourself up. So it's the difference between pulling my kneecaps up and locking my knees back. Once you get really good at this, you can get a job at Chippendales doing the ladies. Would you like to see the kneecap lift tonight? Okay, so that's what I did before I became a YouTube yoga instructor. Take your blocks. If you're using the blocks, set them up behind you, and we're gonna do a little bit of twisted triangle into balancing half moon. So it's required that you have a lot of proficiency in the Warrior 3. If you really struggle with that one, you're gonna wanna use the chair or whatever, maybe a walker. Take your feet wide apart, about 3.5 feet. Turn your back foot turn your right leg. So turn the back foot in a little more than halfway so that you can turn your chest towards your right foot. As you inhale, raise your left arm up. Big reach with your arm. And as you exhale, turn your rib cage, put your hand down, block or floor, your call. Now look down, see that your hip is in the line with the ankle, similar to the triangle pose situation. This is the twisted triangle. And then reach your pelvic roots, reach your crown. So you're long through the midline. Then once you're steady, take your arm up. With the block, I can't quite twist as much because it's kind of blocking my twist. If I put the hand lower, then I can twist a little more, as long as I don't fall. I can twist a little bit more, but the lower I go, the more I tend to round over. So just feel what's appropriate for you. 3 more breaths. Then as you look down, slide your hand a foot in front of your foot. See if you can lift your back leg up. Now this is an advanced level 2-3 transition. So if this is too gnarly, just stay in the twisted triangle. Bend your knees, step back, and come up and around for the other side, like you're a windmill. There we go. Stretch the right arm, big reach, and twist. The pelvic roots reach straight back, the crown reaches forward as you take your arm up. Three more breaths. Hold here in twisted triangle, or look down, slide the hand a foot in front, and raise the back leg. As the back leg lifts, don't throw your core away, don't throw your left hip away. Left hip will just want to hang out to the side. The body naturally goes to the path of least resistance. So we have to create some tensegrity so that the energy channels are opened. Bend your knee, step back, windmill to center. Hands on your hips and roll your shoulders and elbows back. Keep the elbows pointed back without pushing your middle forward, and fold forward in between your legs. Come back up. What a beautiful feeling to do the yoga. Step your back foot forward and stand tall. Okay, now we're going to try the standing balancing, which is requiring a lot of hamstring flexibility to take the big toe. So let's hug the knee up to the chest. If you have the ton of hamstring flexibility, you'll take the big toe and take it forward. If you're not there and you're like, well, how do I ever get there? I've got you covered in the conscious movement course. In the What's Next course, which is what you do following this 30-day challenge, I teach you how to progress. I'll give you a secret. There's some secrets to it. You put your leg up onto a table or a desk, and that teaches the nervous system to relax into it, and then gradually raise more stuff. I'm giving away all the secrets now, though. You're never gonna. All right, so we got the knee or the big toe, and then we're gonna change hands and twist. Remember, don't jam your nerves. Don't create more tension for yourself while you're doing the yoga poses. I have to have like a disclaimer at the beginning. Try to scare you into have Mad Dog come to your school during the DARE program. Bring your hands down, lower your leg down. That worked well. Bring your heel, weight into your right heel, hug your left knee up. Hold there, take the big toe, and then once you're steady, twist. For solidarity's sake, hold the knee with you guys. There's no shame in holding the knee. You get a lot of challenge here. You're getting a good hip flexion stretch. Your spine muscles are becoming more healthy. I'm more interested in yoga for longevity than yoga for Instagram. Come back to center, raise your arms up, lower your leg down. All right, now let's come into chair pose and twist to your right. Whole lot of twisting going on today. You can stay there, or there might be some more advanced practitioners who want to throw in a side crow, where you put the hands down, lean into it, and you can learn that stuff in the arm balance course on my Conscious Movement community, which if you haven't joined, good idea to join once you finish with this challenge. Come to center and change sides. Come to center, fold forward. All right, now, I purposely didn't do a lot of upper body stuff because I wanted to save it for today's class. So for the last 2 days, we have focused more on core and legs. Today, we're gonna do some upper body stuff. So let's start with the side plank. Put your left elbow down onto the ground. Let's do an elbow situation. And line your right foot up in front of your left. So before you go to twist open, seal this forearm and connect your ribs to your pelvis, head in line with your spine instead of head forward and down. So you're strengthening good neck posture. Then turn your chest, take your arm up. Press into your feet, lift in your obliques. You don't want your side to turn off. In fact, if you reach down and touch, these muscles should be firing. Your hips should be engaged. Press into your feet. Now bend your elbow, slide your hand behind your head. Let your head lean back into your hand, into alignment with your spine. This is a good way to tell if the head is forward. You can touch. You can use your hands if you don't have good proprioception. Change sides. Right elbow down. Give the feet a spot. Look down before you go to twist open. See that you have good contact, good foundation here. And then roll your chest, reach up, and then slide your hand behind your head so you can feel where your head is in space. The more advanced you become, you don't need to use your hands or look at your reflection. Your awareness is trained. But initially, it's a good idea to use hands, to use mirrors once in a while. You don't want to be always using them because then your awareness is pulled outward. You want to try to train the focus in. Come to center, come into your elbows, forearm plank. Don't just hang here in low back city. Instead, use your core, use your legs. Resist gravity with your front body. Firm your buttocks to your heels. Move your shoulder blades down your back. Reach from your armpits into your elbows. Press those forearms, press the ground down. 5 more minutes. No, 5 more breaths, that's it. You can do it, stay with it. Slowly lower your pubic bone down. Oh, it's the Sphinx pose. Bend your right knee. Keep rolling your upper spine. A little foreshadowing here for back bend day, maybe. Change sides. Then lower yourself down. And let's do the preparation for the headstand. There might be a few headstanders in the room. You can go ahead and do the headstand if you're already a headstander. If not, we're going to train the arms for the headstand. So you're going to clasp the hands and rest the sides of the thumbs together. This is a good technique for beginners, in my opinion. There's 2 different hand positions you can use. I like this one. So the sides of the thumbs together, the fingers interlock to the webbing, and then you're going to imagine you're holding an egg in between your hands. You don't want to crush it. but you don't want to lose it either. So and it's one of those large eggs. Good. Hopefully not cage-free, because that doesn't mean anything. The chickens are still being abused. It's got to be the completely pasture-raised. You got to get it from the farmer's market where you know the guy, because otherwise, you can't trust those eggs. Okay, so now seal the forearms down, draw your ribs in. They only open up that cage for okay, I don't want to go into all this. Now lift your knees up an inch, keeping your core. Reach your forearms, collarbones broad. Then see if you can hike your hips all the way up without your ribs dropping, without your upper back rounding. Ooh, this requires that good flexion from the shoulder. Collarbones stay broad. Now, if you're feeling really strong, keep your core in, bring your knee to your chest, right knee, and then push the right heel up into the air. Woo! Very, very dramatic. Lower the leg down, change legs, bring the left knee up. Feel the burn, baby. Push the heel up. Good. Lower your leg. Knees down. Child's pose. Buns of steel with Gilad. Lower your head down. Then lie onto your back. Come into bridge pose. Hold there or go for Urdhva Dhanurasana, which is similar to Urdhva Dhanurasana, except you have to sound pretentious when you use the proper Sanskrit pronunciation, or just like you know what you're talking about. I don't know either one. Lower yourself down. Now, for this next twist, I'm going to recommend using some proppage, because I don't like the knee to go all the way to the ground for this one. So I'm going to you can use a block, and you're going to hug the knee into the chest. So hug your knee in as you stretch out. Nice long line of energy from your heel through your spine. You can also use a foam roller if you don't have a block. Lots of people got the foam roller, right? Take your knee over to the left, keeping your rib cage, pelvis connection. And then relax there. So depending on how much play of the tissues you have here in your outer hip, you might be able to take the knee a little bit lower than I'm showing. Or if you're really tight here, you might have to go higher. Because what happens if you go further than this tissue allows, guess who takes the burden? Either the sacral lumbar connection or the thoracic lumbar. Where the spine changes direction in its curve is where it's most unstable and most prone to injury. So that's why with lower backs, whenever you say, oh, I had a disc problem, which one? L5S1. That's right where it changed the direction here. So that's all this awareness that I've been asking you to have today, not today, but for the last days with the pelvis. That's all training that awareness so that we can keep those discs healthy. Come back to center and change. Cut the blocks. Hugging the knee in first. This is the best. I wish we could just do this for another hour. Do these nice supine, gentle stretches. Well, we gotta get the yin day coming up, so you got that to look forward to. I used to hate this part of class when I was younger and I first started yoga. I thought, oh my gosh, this part is so boring. Just want to do the sweaty, hard part. I don't want to hang out. But then I started to realize how much more this part of class informed the other part of my practice. How did it inform it? Because I was overdoing. I was tensing up the nervous system in all the yoga poses. But I was so used to that style of life, more solar energy. We have the solar and the lunar channels in the body is more connected to the solar energy, the go, 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 get things done, be in the rat race. And that really comes through in the yoga practice for many people. I've noticed that teaching over the years, depending on where I taught. Come back to center and hug both knees to your armpits. Stretch it out. Savasana. Can you let your jaw relax? If you can feel that your jaw was tense most of the class, like there's a lot of tension to drop in the jaw, then either you're in that same category as I was describing, the person who's more into the solar channel, needs more balance, the lunar, or you're doing cocaine all night and you got the coke jaw. I don't know which one. It could be one of the two, but hopefully we'll make this a family channel and we don't have that type of talk here anymore. You've been warned. Okay, I get it. Relax. Empty the jaw, empty the tongue. Gently bend your knees and roll to your side. Press it up to seated. Bring your palms together. Thank you. Namaste. All right, good work today. I'll see you next day. And hey, if you're still with me on the challenge, comment below. I'm still with you. Have you been doing it all the days? Let me know. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.